Hello and welcome to Diploma Dialogues. Today's episode is focusing on the core of IBDP, which consists of CAS, extended essay, and TOK, which is theory of knowledge. So, firstly, a little bit on CAS.
So CAS is composed of three parts. It's an acronym for creativity, activity, and service. It's basically where you have to record a bunch of experiences or different things that you've done, which pertain to either it being a creative activity and like a physical activity or some type of service. And another thing for CAS is that you need to have a CAS project, which is basically a type of project that you do over a period of a month or a few months, and it contributes to the world somehow.
And just adding on to that point, the CAS project has to be collaborative. So,
Yeah.
like your experiences can be anything. Like my experiences have been going to the gym, learning how to cook in order to prepare for university, drawing, making some digital art. Those have been my experiences. So your experiences basically have to be something creative, an activity or a service that you're doing. So
Yeah.
like playing cricket, going to the gym were my experiences.
Yeah, your project has to be like a sort of leadership project that you've done. You need to have like a group or something that you're heading. Like for example, you could start some sort of service in the school where you bring people, students from less privileged schools, and you get volunteers to teach those students. If you're heading that project or that activity, that becomes your CAS project.
Yeah, so it's basically a collaborative project that it's basically like an experience that has been taken over a couple of months or something that's like a little bigger than an experience. Like for example, some popular CAS projects in our school have been this podcast, for example, is a CAS project because there's three of us working on it for an extended period of time.
Yeah.
Another few other CAS projects have been Teach for Fun, which is when a few members of our school brought students from a less privileged school, a school
Yeah.
with not as many resources as us, and taught them some things that we learn in
Relay for
our
Life,
curriculum.
which is one that's coming
Yeah,
up
then
as
there's Relay for
cool.
Life, which is
It's an overnight campaign. So basically, you'd stay in a venue for around 12 hours. It can be from like 6 p.m. to 6 a.m. And you basically do like a relay or sort of a mini marathon where you do a bunch of laps and you pay you do a bunch of laps and you raise money in order to donate to cancer patients.
Yeah, so essentially it's a fundraiser for people struggling with cancer. Then there's Let It Beat. There's who organized the Rose Day. So
Operation
basically,
Smile,
Operation Smile,
which is a very
which
big one as
hosted
well.
a fundraiser for kids with cleft lip who require cleft lip surgery. So yeah, these are just a few of the CAS projects.
Yeah.
But your experience can be anything creative, an activity or a service. So you can like play tennis for your experience, or you can do a beach cleanup.
Yeah.
Your beach cleanup can also be a project, by the way.
Yeah, and don't wait to put your CAS experiences or CAS reflections
God,
or manage
yes,
back.
yes.
Because if you don't put them up or you don't fulfill the quota, you will be hounded by every single CAS coordinator or teacher. You will. So you want to be as up to date as possible as you can.
Yeah, so especially like for us, when we started CAS, we took it very lightly, in the sense that like I personally I did an experience and then I wrote like 5 reflections at the end of the week or at the end of the month. But if we were to make suggestions right now, the best thing you could do is every day you work on that experience. Like for example, I go to the gym thrice a week. Once I come back from the gym, I sit or I voice record or just log in that reflection on ManageBack.
Yeah, and reflections realistically don't take that long. They take a maximum of 10 minutes, and you can even do audio reflections, which is usually just a 2 or 3 minute audio recording. So it doesn't really take that long. Once you've done any sort of activity that you've logged in as a CAS experience, you just want to get reflections out of it.
Yeah, so the second you finish working on that experience for the day, just log it into ManageBack, and that'll make your life so much easier, because then you won't be like us writing 40 reflections in 2 days because the deadline is in a week.
Yeah.
So and also don't procrastinate your CAS
at
project. Yeah, don't procrastinate your CAS project, because like aim to get it done in DP year 1, which is 11th grade. Aim to get it done, finished, logged on, ManageBack, approved, everything.
Yeah.
In grade 11, because then you're basically free for grade 12 to work on your papers and your IAs.
Personally, what I recommend for a CAS project is try your hardest to secure the head as for a legacy project. because that makes it possible to continue a CAS project that's already been done last year. So you don't have to think up of new ideas, and you already have it done at the start of the year, for example, because you've logged it, you've become the head for that project. And also, if you don't have a CAS project and haven't fulfilled your quota for CAS experiences and reflections, you actually will not get your diploma. So it's very important that you stay up to date with CAS.
About that. So the core, what we mentioned, the core is CAS, TOK, and EE. If you fail any one of these three components,
your diploma is gone.
Yeah, if you don't fulfill your CAS requirements, if you fail TOK, if you fail the extended essay, any one of these three, you lose your IBDP diploma.
Yeah.
You are not getting your diploma. No matter if you are a 42 on 42 student, you are not getting a diploma.
Yeah, so in the case of CAS, you wouldn't be fulfilling your requirements, and for TOK and extended essays, getting below a D.
Yeah, and also your CAS project, like a lot of people are intimidated by it, but to be honest, it doesn't have to be very complex. Like,
yes.
Our CAS project is this podcast.
It's very simple.
Our CAS project is this podcast. We know a bunch of people who just started a club in school where they teach juniors about, like for example, there's a business and eco club where two of our classmates teach juniors about business and eco and what they should expect when they take up a business or an eco course in IBDP. Then there's a chess club where basically they come together once a week and play chess. You could start a tennis club, which doesn't even require any teaching. You could just get a bunch of your friends to play tennis once a week, and that'll be your tennis club.
And it doesn't necessarily have to be in your school itself. It can even be outside school. Like for example, one person I know is starting a project where they gather a bunch of people and they donate sports equipments to less privileged schools or to people in the slums, so that they can enjoy sports as well, like we do.
Yeah, so just that top 3 tips will be: don't procrastinate, don't be intimidated by it, it's quite simple, and get your reflections done.
Yeah.
Now moving on to the second core component, which is TOK. So TOK stands for Theory of Knowledge. To be honest, if you want me to explain it to you,
we really cannot.
We cannot.
TOK is sort of a subject that you explore on yourself. It's a very broad topic, and you have a lot of room for exploration. Honestly, I feel like there's 2 types of TOK students: people that get it and students that don't get it at all. There's no in between.
Yeah, there's no in between. You either really, really deeply understand TOK, or you just don't get it. And most of us don't get it. So TOK is one subject which like really requires a lot of thinking. So like if I was to try to explain it, I would say TOK is it's a subject about the concept of knowledge.
Yes.
It's about how knowledge is created, produced, spread. So it's basically about knowledge and how there are different areas of knowledge, like knowledge of maths, science, art, history. These are different areas of knowledge. So if I was just to blurt everything about TOK, everything I know about TOK, I would start with what basically, again, these areas of knowledge, which are some of them are history, math, science. These are some areas.
So the 5 main areas of knowledge would be natural sciences, human sciences, mathematics, arts, and history. So these are the 5 broad topics that you mainly explore in TOK, and every TOK essay or argument that you write will be related to one of these 5 topics. Whether from human sciences, it be something like economics, or studying something controversial that's happened, that will come under human sciences. And TOK is a subject where you can be as bold as you want, so long as you've justified yourself properly or if you've explained yourself properly.
Yeah, so we're going to talk more about TOK, but because we're saving that for another episode, so we can really go in depth into TOK.
Become more specific.
What the TOK exhibition
We just want to introduce you to all the core IB topics.
So yeah, we have another episode coming up about specifically about TOK, where we'll explain in depth the TOK exhibition, the TOK essay, and what the concepts are and everything about that. But this is just like an overview. Now moving on to the extended essay. So
extended essay is a 4,000 word essay that you write in any one of the subjects that you've selected. It can even be something like a language that you've taken, like Spanish, which is your extra language.
But it doesn't necessarily have to be a subject that you've taken. It doesn't even have to be a subject that your school offers. Like for example, my subjects are physics, math, AI, and business, HR, along with Spanish, English, and DTSL. But I was very much able to select film as my EE topic, as my EE
Yes.
subject, even though my school doesn't even offer film. I'm still allowed to pick. Basically, your EE can be in any of the subjects the IBDP offers.
Has, yes. But we wouldn't recommend to take just any subject because it's a very arduous task. You'd want to take something that you're interested in.
And
Otherwise,
something where your
yeah.
school, and a subject where your school has an experienced
Yes,
supervisor or a
supervisor,
teacher who
yes.
teaches that subject, so they can really help you.
Because your supervisor will help you a lot during your extended essay process. They will guide you through everything, give you some resources that you use, and take something that you're interested in because take something you're interested in because extended essay is a process that lasts over many months. So if you just want to get it over with, don't do that. There's a lot of resource that takes place in an extended essay, and if you're not fully engaged in that subject, you won't be motivated to write that essay, and it'll come out very lackluster.
Yeah, so basically we would say just pick a subject you're interested in so you don't lose interest while writing the essay, because it is a very strenuous task and it is going to take you a long time. It's a
Yeah,
4,000
keep in
word
mind, yeah.
in detail essay, so it's analytical essay, so it's going to take you a long time. It's going to be a lot of work. Like I had above 30-40 citations for my essay.
Yes.
So it's going to take you a lot of time. It's going to take you a lot of research. For the sciences, a lot of data collection. So pick a subject you're interested in, and in that subject pick a topic you're interested in. Like for example, I did my business in I did my extended essay in business. I did my extended essay in business. So, and because that's a subject that really interests me, and then I picked the topic of marketing because again that's the topic in the subject that really interests me.
Yeah.
So I picked marketing. So I worked on my entire extended essay was about digital marketing. So again, pick topics you're interested in. So my company was McDonald's, and my topic was how my research question was to what extent does McDonald's use the digital transformation growth strategy to survive during the pandemic and grow after the pandemic. It was something along the lines of that.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Okay, yeah. Extended essay, so basically when you're choosing your arc, you have to be very specific about what you want to do. Because otherwise, if it's too broad, you'd like what he said. He took business because he's interested in, and then he further narrowed it down to marketing and then fast food chains like McDonald's. So when you're selecting a topic, you have to plan like what you want to do in that subject specifically when you're writing your proposal. Because when you for your extended essay, to actually get the chance to write an essay on that topic, you have to write a proposal as to why you think you should get that chance to write the essay, because it's all a matter of choice essentially. Extended essay, you not want to take something that you're not interested in, and you want to be like specific about what you want to do.
Yeah, so again, that's one thing that happened for us in our school was that we had to pick two subjects and propose what we want to do the extended essay in, what topic we want to do the extended essay in for that subject, and then they would pick which subject is better for us. But that's not the deal with every school. Every school does it differently, and usually you would get a choice to pick which subject you want to do your extended essay in. So yeah, basically it's a long, analytical, detailed essay about whatever your research question is. And so what did you do your extended essay?
So I did mine on economics, but I actually wanted to do it in computer science. Unfortunately, because of what we said earlier, I didn't get the chance. But mine, I'm doing specifically on how government interventions help reduce market failure in the medical industry of Mexico. So that's my specific arc that I've taken. As you can see, I've narrowed it down to government intervention and market failure. And then because of its economics, I've narrowed it down to microeconomics, and I've specifically selected the medical industry of Mexico. So that's how you sort of frame your extended essay if you're doing economics. When you want to become very specific about what you want to do, whether it's macroeconomics or microeconomics. So that's what I've done, and I let me tell you, I've had to write so many different drafts. Be prepared to write so many different drafts or extended essay, because one day you could come up with a 4,000 word draft, give it to your supervisor, and they could also tell you that 50% of it is just incorrect, and you shouldn't put that in an extended essay if you want to get like an A.
Oh yeah. Extended essay will really teach you how to cope with like failure.
Yes.
But it's a good thing that your supervisors will tell you
Yes.
this, because this is a very, very important part of your diploma. If you don't pass
like
this,
all of
your
the core
diploma is
subjects,
gone.
all of your core subjects are very important parts of your diploma. And also an extended essay, don't procrastinate in meeting your supervisors, because
Don't procrastinate your work. And
like for example, you've written your 4,000 word draft and you meet them 3 days before you have to submit, but they tell you that 30% of it is wrong, so you don't have enough time to complete all of it. It's a process where you want to go through throughout the whole few months. You want to meet your supervisor consistently so they can tell you what you've done right and what you've done wrong.
yeah, and use your breaks, like your spring break, your summer break, your Diwali break.
Yes.
Use them well.
Well.
Like I know for a fact both of us procrastinated during the summer break and did not get a lot of work done.
Yes.
And then like we suffered because we had to finish so much in August along
and
with
I know some people who had to write their entire extended essays over again during the summer break. They've had to come up with a whole new 4,000 word draft because what they submitted earlier just wasn't aligned with the rubric of what the subject.
Yeah, so don't procrastinate, use your breaks well. And obviously we'll have another episode talking about specifically an eco extended essay and a business extended essay, BM extended essay. So we'll have two specific episodes about that. But this was just the gist of what the extended essay is,
what to expect,
what a general EE entails. So basically, you pick a topic, you pick a subject, you pick a topic.
Come up with an RQ.
You get a supervisor first, then you come up with an RQ. Once you have your RQ, once you thought of an RQ, do research before finalizing the RQ. If you can't find 15 to 20 sources on that RQ, don't go ahead with it because it's a very, very research intensive essay.
Yeah, and once you find your RQ, please propose it to your supervisor, because even after you've written like 2,500 words and that's when you show your extended essay, they could tell you to change your RQ and you have to get rid of everything.
Yeah, so just essentially you speak to your supervisor and get everything checked by your supervisor. Otherwise, when you actually send it to the IB and you get a lower than what you expected grade, you'll be confused. So check with your supervisor before submitting anything. And yeah, this was just the gist of what the extended essay is. Thank you so much, and
We'll see you
next episode.